The verse of the day is Matthew 6:34, and it says, "So don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own worries. Today's trouble is enough for today." I believe if all of us walked out today's verse, actually intentionally walked out today's verse, we would hear God, see God, feel God, know God 100 times more. Something God told me once was, I need you to learn how to be present with me in our quiet time together in the mornings when you're spending time with me. That is a practice of learning how to be present with me, learning how to calm your mind, learning how to quiet your mind, because the devil wants to try to distract our mind every day. The devil wants our mind to be in the past or the future. He wants us to be looped in with depression and anxiety and worry on a daily basis, because if we're filled with those things, we're going to be distracted and we're not going to have as much real estate in our mind to hear God's voice and to know what he's doing and to feel and know that he's taking care of us. And this is the reason why showing up every day is so pivotal, because it teaches you how to be present in his presence. And it's in the practice of learning how to be present in his presence that you're able to walk out a verse like today, that you're able to not think about tomorrow and focus on today, that you're able to trust God more with your tomorrow and be present in your today, because we only live one day at a time. Tomorrow isn't even promised. We think we have 5 years promised to us and all these things, which we very well could live 5 more years, but it does us no good to focus on that in a way where we're worrying. The what if narrative is not how God talks. The shoulda, coulda, woulda narrative is not how God talks. I love how Matthew 6:33, the verse we covered earlier this week, seek the kingdom of God above all else and live righteously, and he'll give you everything you need, is right before today's verse. Because if you just have God first and you're cultivating that daily relationship, you're going to learn more and more how to not worry about tomorrow, because you're going to learn more and more that worry isn't how God talks. So when you have worry, this is now an opportunity to take that thought captive, go to God in prayer with whatever the worry is. Say, Lord, I'm worried about money. Can you take this worry and just help me to trust you more with my money? Lord, I'm worried about not finding the one. Can you help me be at peace with the way my life is right now and trust that you're going to guide me on the right path and put me in front of the right people? Lord, I'm worried that I'm going to get sick and that I'm not going to get healthy. I pray that you would get rid of these thoughts, and I trust you that you are healer, that you are protector. It's going to him with every worry in the moment, because again, talking to God has to be in the moment. Hearing from God is in the moment, which is why practicing being present with him is such an important thing to learn. It's so funny how, if you really think about it, if you learn how to be present and to take every worry captive, you have more energy to give to doing what God has called you to do today. I remember I watched a sermon from Transformation Church, Pastor Mike Todd, and he was talking about how here is holy. I will never forget this message. It changed how I think about my day to day, because where God has you today is holy. And what that means is there is purpose in the day he's given you today, and everything you're going to walk out today, all the people you're going to be around, everything you're going to feel, because everything you feel and go through today is preparing you for tomorrow. So if we aren't focused on today, then we're going to miss out on that preparation. We're not going to pay attention to the preparation for where God is taking us in the future for our purpose. So when we surrender tomorrow and we stop focusing on how things went yesterday and we focus on today, because right here is intentional. It reminds me of that verse, are you handling well what God has given you? And that's not to say it has to be this big thing. It's, if God has given you a desire to work on your health and to be in better shape, are you handling well your discipline to work out a few times a week? Are you handling well an idea that he gave you? If he gave you a dream or a business idea, are you taking that baby step? Maybe it's creating an Instagram account for the business, and it's trying to get creative. Or maybe it's you want to write a book. It's creating 10 minutes a day to write, if it means starting that small, because when you start small, you feel capable to accomplish the goal. which is why when it comes to spending time with God, it doesn't have to be this big goal. And why for the Jesus Challenge, it's 1 verse a day, because if you start small, you feel capable to accomplish it. And then that desire will grow, because all it takes is a little open door for you to see how much God will transform your life. And then you want to read the whole chapter, and then you want to learn all the context, and then you want to spend all the time with him, because you're going to start to see that transformation. Learning to not worry about tomorrow is a journey. You will grow in this the more you pursue trying to not worry about tomorrow. It's easy to just say, don't worry, and carry on. A lot of times we don't know that our mind is trickling into worry all day long. So again, we have to be intentional about where our thoughts are headed. The more you walk with Jesus, the more he shows you how much worry is taking a hold on your life, or how much you're not surrendering your tomorrow, and you're not being present in today. And it's so interesting to me how the more I learn how to be present with Jesus in my quiet time in the morning, the more I'm able to be present in what I do all day long and in the people I'm around. I don't know about you, but there's been so many moments in my life where I'm with someone and I'm doing something, but I'm so not present. And then I don't even remember what they just talked to me about. And then I'll leave and I'm like, I was so not present. I was talking to this person, but my brain was in the room because I was just overwhelmed by all the feelings I was feeling and the emotions or whatever. It's so crazy how if you practice being present in your alone time with Jesus every morning, it'll teach you how to be present in your day and in who you're around. And then your ability to have peace around people and in the things that you do will be bigger. And then you're going to be able to develop real connection in your relationships because you're being present in them. Because you're not focusing on what's going to happen 3 hours from then or what's going to happen tomorrow. You are locked into today because today is the day that God gave you. Today is intentional for preparation. I think a verse like today is actually super kind because it shows me that God understands too much worry will make us crumble and make us feel overwhelmed and bring anxiety. And then we feel paralyzed in it. So he says, only focus on today because you're going to have some worries today, probably, which means let's tackle those together today, only today. Because if you start to bring in worries of tomorrow or the future, you're going to be too overwhelmed and it's going to make you feel paralyzed. And then it's going to make you doubt me, doubt you, doubt your life. Let's go one day at a time because then you're going to feel capable to overcome the worries of life or the struggles of life. And with me, you can overcome anything. So let's do it together one day at a time. Your worry doesn't mean you don't know how to follow God. You don't know how to trust him. It means you have an opportunity to learn how to trust him more. And so you already know what I'm going to say. Take an assessment. It's always an assessment. Where in your life are you allowing yourself to let worries creep in? Where can you be more present in your day-to-day? Where can you see each day you have as holy and intentional, and to take every thought captive that tries to draw you into the past or the future? Focus on today. God has you here for a reason. Okay?